Let's take a look at one of our other rehabs. Hi, Bubba.
I'm not a bum.
You're not a bum?
Not a bum, I promise.
Okay, well, we'll ask your old lady and see what she says. Hi, Andrew Cross here with Andrew Buys Homes. We are back at this wonderful property. We just finished this one here, the 2221. We finished that one about a week ago. We've already got tenants moved in there. They are paying $725 a month, I do believe. That's our 2-1, and then we'll take a look at this one. Bubba's over here putting it in the mini splits right now. We've had a couple little leaks on this. Whoever put this roof on didn't do a fantastic job, so we ended up having to do some little repairs, but fortunately we didn't have to replace the whole roof. This is the one that we actually got a city citation on while we were working on it. So we had a full crew out here working, about 4 guys scraping this house, cleaning it up, and the city comes out there and starts taking pictures and writes us up and gives us 15 days to make improvements, which Oklahoma City is really easy to work with. All you gotta do is just keep pushing out 15 days, 15 days, 15 days, and you just have to keep making improvements up until like, I think 3 or 4 months, and then you got to go to court. And then literally you just go look at the judge and like, here's the before pictures and I'm working on it. And he'll be like, all right, and he'll give you some more time. So as long as you're actively working on it and not actively going the other direction, they're pretty easy to work with. Let's take a look at this one. Big trash day over here. Trash. We actually have this one already rented. They're supposed to be moving in on Friday. We couldn't get it rented, and then we poured that driveway in the back, and then what do you know? Lo and behold, we ended up getting the sucker rented. So let's see what we got up here. Our beautiful brand new windows here. We end up have to just get what we could get at Lowe's. So that's why you see this huge trim around it. We had to frame this in. If you look at it on the outside, there's like a 12-inch board because we literally had to frame this in almost 12 inches. But right now with the pandemic, you can't get windows. So it's just annoying right now. Here's one of our mini splits. These mini splits here, they'll do 500 square feet. And the nice thing is they plug into a 110 outlet. And so we don't have to rewire the house or do anything crazy for these. So the nice thing about these is I don't have to upgrade breaker panels. I don't have to upgrade too much. As long as we have a decent power source, we're ready to go. So we're having all kinds of fun learning about these. So we'll figure these out over the next couple houses. But you know, we bought 15 of them, so I guess we're gonna figure it out. We throw in some nice ceiling fans. You know, these things are not that expensive. Here's another mini split. We're gonna put this one down here. So this one here is about, I think this house is like 12 or 1,300 square feet. So 2 of them will be just a little bit under. So we're gonna go ahead and put 2 in. I want them to be really comfortable here. I want them to get here, stay, and never want to move. If mama's happy, they're probably not going to move. That was the living room. Here's the dining room. And then here is the downstairs bedroom. This is where the other mini split's going to go. Little closet, nothing fancy, just underneath the staircase.
It's like a Harry Potter closet.
Get up! Now!
It does, doesn't it? Harry Potter closet. We put the snap down vinyl plank, and this is one of the reasons that we had a little bit of a problem getting this thing rented was somebody hasn't moved the hot water tank out. Just irks me when we get the house and they're like, hey, we're all done. They leave the hot water tank, the old hot water tank, in the middle of the floor. We also converted this house from gas to all electric. The gas lines need a gas pressure test. We tried pressuring it up, didn't pressure up. So we're like, man, I have a rule. If it's above 500 bucks, we just make it go all electric. So the hot water tank was shot anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. Everything else was pretty much shot, so we just went ahead and replaced it all. Where you're standing right there used to be the sink. So it's sort of kind of interesting. We had, whoever designed this bathroom had it where you could sit on the toilet and wash your hands at the same time. Yeah, so right here was the toilet and right here was the sink. So my guys came in here, fortunately, without me even telling them, moved the sink over there, and so that's nice. The bathtub had to be replaced, new tub surround. All the drain lines in this house was rotted out, so it's just been, they had a whole bunch of plumbing on this one and on the other house, a lot more plumbing than we planned on doing. So it's just part of it. Stove, dishwasher, put the dishwasher in. Oh, stainless steel, Bubba, you went all out on this one.
It was all they had.
All they had.
That's what they told me.
All right.
So I want the cheaper of the cheap ones. Andrew gonna be mad if I spend $3 grand on something.
Man, I'm telling you. That explains why we got that one, but anyway, it's gonna come out of his pay, don't worry. Oh yeah, it's gonna come out of your pay.
You'll catch it that first month's rent.
Yeah, probably. Bubba already knows. He's like, we're gonna get the first month. So you look up there, you see we had to like re-plywood and do some stuff up there. I mean, that was just because the windows, I mean, they're literally about 1.5 feet shorter than they used to be. You wouldn't know unless you were the one that paid for it and got to watch them do it. So this breaker box has actually been bypassed because we had to move it up to a bigger breaker box. So this is just a junction box now. So the power comes in, here's your power, ties in here, and then the breaker box is inside. That's right. We decided to actually switch, I remember now, we decided to switch this because the breakers kept coming up missing. So rather than continue to buy breakers, I decided to go ahead and move it inside. So Bubba put them in 2 or 3 times and kept moving them around, and anyway, new breaker box. Here's our lines for the mini split. We'll have a bracket right here. It's gonna sit. I'm trying to get this place removed. They're supposed to be moving in Friday. Today's Thursday, so we got one more day before they move in, and I hate working on places with tenants in here. So I try to get it done as soon as possible. Fortunately, these already come pre-charged. And there's a tree over here. I thought it was behind the house, but once we trimmed back the tree, I realized it was in the house. Like literally that much. That was another $2 grand that I wasn't planning on spending, but you can still see the roof right there, where they still got a little bit of the ding there from the roof. Here we had a bunch of concrete. We had water falling into the house, so we had to pour some new concrete. We put in some flashing. Just poured this drive. I think this was $800-900 to, well, pour this drive, gravel drive. That was the biggest complaint. So sometimes I'll just see what people want. So sometimes I'll just put something out there, see what they come back with. If I consistently, my people are like, hey, we get it in a complaint that we're, no parking. And that was the consistent complaint here. We'd rent it if it had parking, and we rent it if it had a parking. I'll go ahead and spend the money. I would rent it if it had a dishwasher, then we'll add in a dishwasher. But now that's just pretty standard practice for us. This, I was like, I don't think I need to put a driveway in here, but evidently I did. So as soon as we did, literally we put it in, next day we rented it to a lady. So this was the big stopping factor. So note to self, put in driveways. We got 3 parking spots here. They'll get 1, they have 2. The rest of them can park on the street. Normally you can't do gravel in Oklahoma City, but this was already here, so this was grandfathered in. So as long as I'm grandfathered in, I can continue to pour gravel. You cannot legally park on the grass or park on gravel in open areas in Oklahoma City. So that's the pros and cons there. But this was already done. This one has window units. I will probably go ahead and upgrade this thing to mini splits probably next couple days before my appraisal comes through.
How much does it help on the appraisal?
It depends on the appraiser. I mean, that's the thing about appraisers and inspectors and all this other stuff that we work with, is even my homeowners. I can't read minds, and appraisers have their own way of appraising properties. Some appraisers will look at and they'll say, yes, I love this area, and so they'll appraise it for more money, and they'll just pull out all the pretty comps. And then other times they will do it and they won't pull out the pretty comps. So it's like, it's hard to tell. Honestly, I think this place should be worth about $100,000 to $120,000. If I sold it, I could very easily get $60,000, but maybe $80,000 for that big house. And this one here, easily $50,000 all day long. Would not have a problem if I put it on the MLS and tried to do that tomorrow. We paid $22 each, so $44 for the package. It was a friend of ours that had bought a package of 10 or 15, and these 2 were just not in her wheelhouse, in her area that she wanted to go invest in. So she's like, she called me up first thing, she's like, I know you want these. So it was great because she was like, hey, you want to buy them? And by the way, I can loan you the money for them too, so you can buy them and fix them. But fortunately at that time, this is one of my favorite projects because we're actually going to burr this one. So we've actually bought both these houses cash. We fixed them up cash, and now it's time to go refi them out. So this is my first first, second, and then, you know, of course, I don't ever do anything small. So I got my first, second, third, fourth, and fifth one. We had a big cash out refi, and I just went crazy buying up houses. And then forgot how long it takes the banks to go do the refis. So anyway, please, dear God, any minute, we should be able to get these houses refied, and I'll be able to pull all that cash back out.